everyone, this is Kelly Cahoot and I am back with another video for Honeybee Stamps. Today I'm using the brand new Feelin Foxy stamp set and I'm going to set up this sweet little fox in my mini Misty. That's my regular Misty actually, and I'm going to color her with some Copic markers. I'm going to set these up on some Nina Solar White cardstock and stamp them with Memento Tuxedo Black ink because that is a Copic friendly ink. Get that nice and stamped down, and then I'm going to use some Copic markers and do some super simple, super quick coloring. Now, I started out with the YR16, and this is just a really bright orange. I like orange. Some people don't like orange. I like orange. This is a really pretty orange. So I'm just going to do some basic coloring. I'm going to kind of darken in or make that orange in the spots that I want it a little darker. I'm going to put a little bit more down. And then I'm actually going to take an R08, which is a red, to go in and deepen up those spots that I want the color a little deeper, a little darker. So I'm just going to flick that on, and I've got this super sped up so it's nice and quick, but just the parts that I want darker. And then I'm going to go back over with that YR16 again and just fill in, blend out, and make everything nice and smooth. Now for the white parts of the fox, so the chest, the little tail, I'm going to actually use a N1, an N3, and a C00. And you'll see here in just a second that marker bled all over my fox. So at this point I was trying not to freak out, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to leave this in here. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to make it work. And so I took my colorless blender. I thought I was going to have to pull out like the full bottle of the colorless blender liquid and use it right there. I didn't have to. I just used that marker and went over and over and pushed that ink where it bled right there. I pushed it out. And so I think you'll have to look at the very end and see what you think, but I think it covered up pretty well. I think I saved it. I just kept going over and I was trying really hard not to make it bleed into the orange part of the fox. And so that's the colors I used: N1, N3, and then a C00, and of course a lot of that colorless blender. For the legs, I used an E49. It looks really almost black, but it's a really deep chocolate brown. I'm going to deepen up those little creases in the legs and the dark spots again. And I went in and just made some little stippling marks to add a little texture there. Now, because I'm going to die cut this, and so if you die cut it, you have that white border around what you have die cut. And so I went in with a white gel pen and went right along the edge of that little fox's chin where that marker bled out to try to cover up as much as I could of that gray part where the marker bled. Now I've put that back into my Misty. I left the stamps in place so I could go back in and stamp over what I had already stamped to crisp up those nice black lines, and it really does make that color just pop out. I colored the butterfly with a V17 and a V15, and then I'm taking the coordinating dies and I'm just going to run those super quick through my die machine and cut those out. Now I used a scoreboard to score and fold my cardstock. This is what is going to be my card base. And now I'm going to use some cardstock and do a little bit of ink blending. And I have this super sped up. I used Twisted Citron, Lucky Clover, and then Broken China for the sky part. but I am just doing a simple little halo of color, not covering the whole piece of cardstock. I just kind of want to do a wash of color for the background there for my little fox to sit on. So when I have all that done, I kind of smooth it out with a rag, and then I'm going to take this piece of grass. There's a piece of grass in the Spring Buddies or Spring Honey Buddies stamp set. Now this is an oldie but a goodie. There's got some great images in this set. And I'm sorry I'm kind of off camera there, but I'm going to take that grass and I'm going to line it up with the green there that I have masked off. And I just stamp it right along that line. And I use the Twisted Citron. So this is kind of a tone on tone. It stands out, but it kind of blends into. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can see the images there, but they don't just pop and call a lot of attention to themselves. So I'm going to use the broken china that I used on the sky. I'm going to take the butterflies from the Feelin Foxy stamp set and stamp those kind of randomly, like we have just a lot of butterflies kind of flying around. And then I'm also going to take one of the solid hearts and stamp kind of randomly there. When I have all the background done exactly the way I want it, I'm going to put this whole thing back into my Misty, and I'm going to use the Ridiculously Happy stamp set. I love this greeting that says, you're my favorite. You can say, you're my favorite person, you're my favorite person. I just love that. So I'm going to put you're my favorite on the bottom of my card here. I'm setting it all up in my Misty. I use VersaFine black onyx ink because it is so nice and crisp and black. And now I'm going to adhere my little fox and little butterfly. I put a little bit of foam tape on the back of little Foxy there and pop her up, and then a little bit of liquid glue on the end of the nose of the little fox. And then to add some details, I use a Wink of Stella pen and go over the wings of the butterfly, and I'm taking a black glaze pen and going over the nose of the fox and the little eye there in the mouth, and then a white glaze pen, and I'm going back over there where my Copic marker kind of leaked out on the edge and adding just a few little details in there for the butterfly and the fox. There I have the Wink of Stella, the very last for a little shimmer, and that is all done. All the supplies are listed in the description box below and are found at Honeybee Stamps. I hope you'll hop along with the rest of the block hop, and I hope you love this release as much as I do. I think the images and the sentiments are so cute. Talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.